Yo, what's up, squad? It's your boy Aqua Gaming back here with another one, and in today's video, I got you guys the best stats in Undawn. Now, this video is honestly for everybody, for beginners, for pros. I'm just going to be going over all the stats basically in the preview section, and we're going to be going down the list. Now, I know if you guys hit the preview section, when you go right here, you can see which ones are technically the best stats that they rank for you that you can get. Now, I'm going to be showcasing throughout the whole video little combinations that I'm going to be coming up with you guys that are actually the best stats in the game, rather than just getting one of the best stats in the game, which is the top one right there off of the preview section. You guys can get, like, let's just say two purple stats, right? You put the critical hit and then the base damage purple stat together. Those are a correct combination. So that's just an example of what I'm going to be doing here today. Now let's just take a second, go through all the best stats on the weapons. So for the main ones that you guys actually want to get is just damage and base damage. Those are really good, but also don't neglect the critical hit, because that one brings obviously more percent of you doing crit hits and the crit damage. So for my sake, I'm going to say I'm going to go with the base damage percent, and that's what I'm really going to be focusing on if you're only going for one purple stat. Now, if you guys are going for two purple stats, I do want to suggest that obviously getting the base damage and the damage are the two best stats that you guys can get in the game. Now, there's many other combinations that I would like to give you guys, so just stay along for those. But for now, let's just go down the list here. So you guys see base damage increase, base damage. You guys see critical hit, and there's like armor piercing for most of them. Now, I would really utilize the armor piercing. A lot of people hate armor piercing, but what you guys have to realize is the AK-15 is armor piercing. That's the talent skill on it. So if you guys are really big AK-15 users, maybe this is something that you guys are going to want to start considering. Start putting a lot more armor piercing stats on your character overall, so that your AK-15 can be buffed. All of these complement each other, complement what type of build that you have, your play style, all that good stuff. I did want to say that and get that out the way first. Now, since we got that out the way, if you guys want to do more damage, and you're going to have to be looking at the critical damage stats, critical hit stats, base damage stats, and damage stats. Those are all for damage. There's multiple ones that can complement damage, but those are just the main four ones that I found to help me do more damage inside of PvP and also PvE. Now, if you guys are more like defensive, I'm more on the defense type of side, then I definitely go for more of like critical resistance, weakness damage resistance, and maybe, some armor, health, some stats like that boost your health, boost your armor, also some resistance. They all complement each other as well for the defensive play. Now, for these blues and green stats, it's okay to have a green stat on your gun, but you guys want to realize that you have to have the stats that complement each other. It doesn't matter if they're green, it doesn't matter if they're blue, it doesn't matter if they're purple. Yes, it helps. Yes, it boosts your gun's rating. Yes, it boosts the damage. But you guys have to realize, if you guys put all the stats that complement each other together, no matter what color they are, they're going to work with each other. They're going to do the damage until you guys can get the purple stats. Then that can be a great substitute of learning your stats, learning how they play together, the combinations that you guys can use. Use that to your advantage. Now, I will say, for the weapons, for me personally, I have three stats on mine. It's the base damage increase stat, the damage, and the critical hit stat. If you guys can get lucky to get those three stats on your gun, you're going to be so OP. They all work with each other very great. And if you guys see my PvP videos recently, when I'm using the AK, I just obliterate people just because how cracked the stats are themselves. Now, going on to the equipment here, the equipment's obviously focused on defensive stats. So it's going to be focused more on the max armor stats, the max HP. And since they did add some new stats, they're now focused on damage reduction stats. And I really love that they added this, because a lot of people have cracked damage. So if you are not lucky to get a damage stat, then you at least will be lucky enough to get a damage reduction stat. I've gotten two of them so far, one on my hat and also one on my glove. So these are really helpful. Those are the two main stats that you do want to get for equipment, damage reduction. The other stats that you guys would like to get is the HP per second, and you guys would like to get max HP and max armor as well. All three of those are really great, and they'll help you in either PvP or PvE, because with the HP per second, most of them, since we're getting up in level now, they're like 10 HP per second, which doesn't really seem like a lot, but honestly, it is a lot, because if you sit there for 10 seconds, that's 100 health that you just, healed yourself while hitting yourself with the biostem shot. And if you need some more health, then hit yourself again one more time with the bio shot, and you should be at full HP. Now, as you guys will notice, each piece of equipment will have their own stats organized into which one is the best stats. Just keep in mind, no matter what equipment it is, damage reduction, max HP, and max armor will always be your best friend, with maybe 1 or 2 other HP per second stats. You can never go wrong with those stats. Definitely if you're adding the critical resistance and also weakness damage resistance with all of those other stats too, you guys will be really cracked. Now you guys obviously want to go for a higher percentage of it. So how do you go for a higher percentage of it? You get a purple. If you guys don't know how to get guaranteed purples, click on top right now. My guaranteed how to get purple stat video will pop up, and you guys can go and see how to get guaranteed purple stats. Now, don't forget that you guys can get skill chips as well to help you with your stats. There's multiple other things that you guys can do that I'll be showing you, but make sure that you guys go for the purple chips for now. Definitely if you're free to play, you know, not a lot of free to play people are going to be able to get these gold skill chips just because of how expensive they are. So maybe one skill chip I can actually recommend you guys would be grabbing that Vanguard skill chip just because it's plus 40 damage, and also grab you guys self an enabled mecha because that's plus 70 armor for level 2 skill chip. So both of those will be very great for your gameplay for PvE and PvP as well. Only buy the enabled mecha if you do not have a million gold to spend, because the enabled mecha is maybe like 200 to 300,000 gold altogether just for one complete skill chip. Now, if you guys are new, because I know that the advanced players can't really do this, we can't really just reset our skills and stuff like that. But if you guys are new, make sure that you guys figure out what type of stats that you want to be running before you level up your skills. Just because not everybody can level up their skills to the max that they can be, because it's a little pay to win. So until that fact, make sure that you guys know, okay, I want critical damage, I'm a weapons critical hit, base damage with a purple stat, and then know what type of armor stats you guys want. And the reason being is because then you guys can see which ones are in the skills. It will help you guys be a little bit more organized and also take a little bit of stress off of your shoulders. Now the last thing is just upgrading this level 90 new enhancement thing that we did get, because this also will complement your stats, but it's not going to complement it that much, so I'm not going to be giving it that much of screen time, but it is just an extra option. So let's just review what are the best stats into Undawn. So for me, it's the base damage percent, it's the damage, and it's the critical hit, mainly for the weapon. Now for the armor, it's the damage reduction, it's the HP per second, any critical resistance, weakness, damage, resistance. Those are also really great for your armor as well. Max HP, max armor as well. And then for the guns, maybe like a critical damage and armor piercing onto it too. That's great as well. But make sure you're getting the stats that go with the talent skill of the gun and also go with the overall stat build of your character. If you guys did stay for this long, first of all, I did want to say thank you. And second of all, I'm going to be putting my Discord server down in the description below. This is going to be for the community. We have about 30 people in it so far. It's active, chill people that are helping each other grow on a daily basis. So if you want to be part of that community, go ahead and join it. If you're new, smash that sub button and also smash that like button for more content. So close to 1,000 subs and also my $200 goal to fix my phone. So I did want to say thank you to those who actually supported me and donated to me. Y'all are fucking awesome. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.